Hello, and welcome to another edition of Issues and Insights. My name is Tommy Crane with the Radcliff Fire Department, and I have with me today Rebecca K. Meyer from Radcliff Parks and Rec. And we were talking before the show, we have quite a few events coming up. So before we get started into that though, just to kind of just give us a quick little rundown about you. And obviously we know you're the director of the Parks and Recreation, and just a real quick kind of what does that entail? I know you're in charge of Colvin and that kind of stuff, but a little bit of history and then kind of what you do.
Yes. So I did not grow up here, as probably if you've talked to me, you'd probably figure that out. So I actually grew up down in Tennessee, right outside of Knoxville. And then I moved up here in 2022. I worked for Louisville before I started working here in Radcliff. But I've lived here whenever I first moved here. So I was really glad and lucky whenever I started working here for the city of Radcliff. I love working here. It's been very good to me. I love the people here. It's essentially just been the community. As far as my background goes, I'm military. I was in the United States Navy for 13 years before I got out. I just wanted to focus more on my civilian career. And then, so I went to school. I got my bachelor's degree in Parks and Recreation, and then I went forward with my master's degree from there. And then here I am, working as the Parks and Recreation director. And I'm doing what I love. I get to play outside. Now I'm focused on a more administrative role, but I absolutely love it.
So now, just real quick, so as far as a lot of the things that we have in Radcliff, because I think a lot of times people don't realize that Radcliff has a lot to offer in the parks, recreational, and a lot of community opportunities. And of course, we're going to talk about the events because that's kind of falls under your purview. But I know we have several sports parks, and I think you're in charge of that kind of stuff too. So just a real quick, what do we? We have the community center, which can be used for different events and stuff, but we also have we have we have City Park North and several of the ballparks. And then City Park North is where we have our amphitheater.
Yes.
And I think you're going to talk about. I know you've been making a lot more use of that here recently. It seems like I know we built it, and then it kind of got quiet, and then it seems like you've really kind of revived it a little, which is good. But yeah, so tell us a little bit about what we have opportunity-wise as far as parks. I know we've got some sports and stuff too.
So we have our two sports parks. So we have Duval, which hosts the baseball, softball leagues. That's ran by North Hardin, Babe Ruth. They run spring and fall ball. So those are, of course, about ready to end due to winter. And then we also have our soccer park, which is Dolly Park. And then that's, of course, about ready to end as well, too, because of winter. And then that runs spring and fall as well, too. So those don't run, we don't have anything during the winter time because we don't have any indoor facilities for ball. And then we also have, right outside of Colvin, there is an outdoor basketball court that actually gets utilized quite a bit as well too for regular pickup basketball games. And so that's a lot of fun to go out and watch. It's just a lot of community action right outside there. Right. People from all over the community, they go out and play. It's just a lot of fun just to go outside and watch them. And then right now in the community, so we just put in one brand new playground at Dolly Park, and then we're about ready to put in a brand new playground at City Park as well too, which should be available this next week.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then I believe are there still tennis courts outside of
Yes.
Colvin?
So right outside of Colvin, there's also tennis courts, and there's also pickleball. There have pickleball lines as well too. And if you come inside, if you want the nets lowered, we also have the capability of lowering them as well too.
Oh, okay, cool. I forgot pickleball is kind of that new thing now. So we've got some great parks, and I think, like I said, I think that's something people don't realize that we have a lot.
Real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, absolutely.
During the summertime, I also just want to we also have the pool.
Oh, yes.
And we actually just had a lady come in. It's for swim safety. It's very important just to teach your children how to swim too, because we offer swim lessons during the summertime. Because she mentioned how she did her child swim lessons just for 1 year, but she didn't extend her child out for swim lessons any further than that. But she wished that she would have, because her child had her child drowned, but luckily didn't. Her child was able to survive. But she said that her child wouldn't have been caught up in that situation if she had continued on with those swim lessons after that. So she came in and was like, yeah, I'm actually preaching and telling everyone, yeah, continue on with swim lessons, even if you don't want your child to be in swim lessons. So we do offer swim lessons at an affordable price during the summertime as well too.
Awesome. So we've got good year-round stuff. And I know, like you said, we're, fall is here. It's finally starting to feel like fall. And so that kicks us, it kind of takes us out of some of the outdoor sports events and swimming, obviously. But that does lead us into some more family activities that are centered around the holiday seasons, the fall. So it looks like the first one we have here is movie in the park. So
yes. So we got movie in the park, which this year, so I know in the past that we used to do it, so we're trying to bring it back over at the amphitheater.
Okay.
So this year we're doing Hocus Pocus,
okay.
which is if you have not seen it, I know a lot of people have. It was filmed in the year of my birth, 1993. I know I just aged myself a little bit.
I'm not going to tell you because so I graduated the year before that. So yes. But awesome. So we
yes.
got so that's going to be at the amphitheater. What
Yes.
is what are the times and everything for that?
So the movie will start at 6, but you can start getting there as early as 5.
Okay.
And you can park in the lot right outside of City Park. That will be available for parking. We'll have utility vehicles if you're in need of helping to get you up the hill.
Okay.
And then the movie itself will start at 6. And then we'll have a couple of food truck vendors. And then we'll even have a couple of guests to help enhance the movie experience as well too.
Oh, nice. So I got interactive kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And I was going to ask about if you had snacks or something, because it's movies. You got to have. So awesome. So we've got that, and that's what is that? October
25th,
okay,
Saturday.
So pretty close. Okay. So we've got the movie in the park. And after that, what's next? Because we're getting close to Halloween.
Yes. So Fright Night, which is, of course, the city of Radcliff's big trunk or treat experience.
Okay.
We usually expect between anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 kids. And we are still accepting if anyone wants to bring their trunks. This year will be more of a trunk or treat experience versus a table setup. And this year we'll be at Colvin Community Center. And we will still have our haunted house.
Awesome.
As well as a free train ride for kids and adults that want to participate. And the train is sponsored by Goodman Farms as well.
Okay. And now, so what are the times for trunk or treat?
So the trunk or treat itself will start from 5 to 8. However, you have to be in line by 7.
Okay.
So don't be in line anytime after. So if you're in line by 7, you'll be fine. But if you're in line by 7:05, then just be in line by 7, because we have to make sure our staff and everyone will be able to make it home, because otherwise the line will just never be able to make it through.
Yes, I've been through some of those in the past when we've worked on those, and yes, it is a very big line. Great response, and the nice thing is we're having it not on Halloween, so we actually people can still. And I know in the past that's benefited, because sometimes the weather on Halloween wasn't always the best for people to go trick or treating. So we've got that. We've got some activities going on there.
Yeah, and the festivities will start at 4. So food trucks, the train, face painting, all of that'll start at 4.
Okay.
And then, like I said, the trunk or treat starts at 5. And if you're in line by 7, you'll be fine. But
Okay.
even though it says 8 on the flyer, just be in line by 7.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it sounds like a lot of good, and I know that's good having the activity start a little early because the kids, little ones, do get a little antsy and stuff. So that's helpful. And grown-ups like me get hungry too. So
Yes.
that's good. Now you mentioned the haunted house. So so can you give us a quick kind of rundown on what's the haunted house, or just now how will that go about? What do we got for that?
So the haunted house will be inside Colvin Community Center. We'll have volunteers inside of it. May not be too good for littles, but I would say maybe about anywhere from probably 8, 10 on up might be good for. But we'll have animatronics, live action scares. It won't be touch, so no one should touch you in it. There will be flashing lights, just for a heads up on that.
Right.
But it will be inside Colvin Community Center for that. I don't want to give too much else away, though.
No. I just and it's good, and that's what we wanted to know about, especially for the age, because there are some haunted houses and haunted trails and stuff that definitely would not be for younger ones. So good.
And then we will have the support of the fire department as well, too.
Yes, I know that they've been planning some stuff. So I don't know all the details, but I know that they are planning on being active in that as well. So yes, the trunk or treat has always had a really good response, and so it's good to see it back at Colvin and kind of have some other things to go with it. So trunk or treat, we've and Fright Night. So what about after that? What do we have after?
So we will be getting into Christmas trees. Everyone's second favorite thing. So this year we will be getting into the Festival of Trees, and so the Festival of Trees, I'm sorry, I've got to read this for a second because there's some dates on this. We will be beginning setup for this November 17th. So you can start calling Colvin Community Center for setup information for the Festival of Trees.
Okay.
And that's just going to be how, if you are an individual, community partner, just someone in the community, if you just want to set up a Christmas tree, like I said, just any random person, just like I said, feel free to call Colvin for more information.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, setup for that will begin November 17th.
Okay. And then so that's the setup. So when does the actual once they set up, and what is the time frame for the setup? So they start on the 17th, but how long of a time frame do they have?
So then December 5th. So the trees will have to be ready by December 5th.
Okay.
Well, I guess before December 5th, because that's going to be when we do our judging, and that's when the trees will be announced, who the best tree in Radcliff is. Gotcha. And there is no actual winner or I guess prize. It's just you're deemed the best tree in Radcliff.
No cool trophy.
No.
So, okay.
No,
so
you're just deemed the best tree in
Radcliff.
I
got you.
Radcliff.
Okay. Well, hey, that's still you
get bragging rights for you.
There you go. You get bragging rights. Okay. That's awesome.
And then those votes, you can either vote in person for that, or you can vote on Facebook.
Okay. Cool.
And you can follow us on Radcliff Parks and Recreation on Facebook.
So we got Facebook, and so real quick, talking about that, go back to the trunk or treat. Are you going to do anything for trunk or treat, kind of encourage some competition on trunk or treat? I meant to ask that.
No, that one's just you come, you bring your kids, bring your families. You come through the line, you get the candy, right, and then go through the festivities.
Okay. So we got the tree decorations, and then now to go along with that, are there any other festivities that we know of right now for going along with the Festival of Trees? Is there what kind of goes along with that, ties into that?
So with the Festival of Trees, so obviously we'll have the tree decorating contest, and then also we'll have I've got to flip through my flyers here real quick. The annual Christmas tree lighting.
Oh, okay, cool.
At Colvin Community Center as well, too.
And that'll be on the 5th
of December,
right,
yes.
Okay, so.
Yeah. And that'll just be right outside Colvin Community Center, and we'll have the big man himself, Santa, and we'll have crafts. You can get pictures with Santa. So that'll be a really fun event as well too.
Cool.
And
Yeah,
all of that's free.
I saw on there that it says something about a kid's ornament. So
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
And you can,
cool.
it's one of the crafts that you can make a kid's ornament with.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that limited to kids? Can adults do that too? If we want?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to come make an ornament,
right,
by all
so-
means, come make an ornament.
Okay. So we got the festival. So it'll kind of culminate at the December 5th with the tree lighting. Okay. So what else do we have? I know you've got several in there that you were shuffling through. So we'll make sure we don't want to miss any.
So we also, at Saunders Springs, one of our other lovely parks that we have in Radcliff.
Yes, we forgot about that one to talk about Saunders Springs. Yes.
So we have S'mores and Moors, which is kind of like a historical event, which is kind of disbelieving with the name S'mores and Moors, because you hear that event and you're just like, oh, s'mores. But they'll have the Kentucky long rifles there to shoot for demonstrations, which is a really fun thing to see. And then also there's historical quilts there as well, and then we'll also have animal pelts as well too, as well as some historians in the area talking about the cabins and things, as well as s'mores. So
Cool.
it's s'mores
Awesome.
and moors.
Okay.
However, this event, because of the long rifles and the quilts and everything, it is completely weather dependent.
Makes sense.
So if the weather is bad, then unfortunately that event does get canceled.
Gotcha.
But it is a really cool event to attend.
Okay, and that one now. So Saunders Springs is a very nice park, but so will this be up towards the cabins, or where will that be?
Yes, so that'll be at the first two cabins when you walk
right
in,
there. The entrance.
Yeah, right at
Gotcha.
the entrance.
Okay, so and that is real quick, just a side note on the park. I mean, it is a very nice area. We've got. There's picnic area. There's nice streams. There's a little lake.
And then we have the mountain bike trails
Yes.
as well too. Kimba takes very good trails. Our volunteers through Kimba, just got to give them a huge shout out because they do a really good job working with us.
Okay, and lots of walking trails with, and some of them have some very good steps to challenge your So very beautiful, especially with this time of year coming
Yes.
up with the fall, the leaves and everything, and it's beautiful any time of year. I've been there, but yes. So we got that. So we got S'mores and Moors. And again, like you said, it's weather dependent. So what do we got going? Keep going there.
So this event is not hosted from us, but we're in partnership with us, and the proceeds from this event goes towards us too.
Okay.
So he is hosting this company. They're hosting a run at Saunders Springs.
Okay.
It's right around Veterans Day.
Awesome.
So I'm just trying to throw out, and if anyone would like to participate. So this is the information for it. And it would just be, like I said, all the money goes towards Saunders Springs for it as well too.
So let's
And
see, is it a 5K and a 10K?
5K or 10K that
Or
you can
10K,
register
okay.
for. And it is $35, and it's from 7 a.m. till around 8. The start time's at 8.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. And I see that on there's a QR code. So when
Yes.
they put it on, they'll be able to have the QR code, and that'll be something too that we can. Pretty much all these we'll be able to get information on the city's Facebook page and Parks. Now
On Parks and Recreation
Okay,
page,
so
or on
okay.
Saunders Springs Nature Preserve, because Saunders Springs, we do have our own separate
okay.
Facebook page for Saunders Springs as well too.
That's a lot of Facebook pages to keep up with.
It is, yes.
So we got the run, okay, and
one
got
of
more
our
Christmas stuff.
Yes, another
Awesome.
Christmas. 'Tis the season.
It is absolutely.
So we are expecting to have more craft things come up. One of the crafts that we are having come up though is holiday card making.
Well, that's cool.
So we'll have this at Colvin, and it's more of an elaborate card making event. And we'll have the supplies and everything provided, but if you're interested in registering, it is $15 per person, and with that, I believe it comes with 3. Like you'll get to make 3 holiday cards with that, and like I said, it's pretty elaborate. It comes with we have all the stamps, embossing, and everything.
Oh, cool.
And with that, you can, if you want more information, you can call Colvin Community Center.
And do you have extra for people like me that's probably going to make mistakes?
Yes. So very forgiving.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I know my wife and I were talking, not too long ago that is something that seems to in the card making and just sending cards in general, it doesn't seem to be as big as. So that's pretty cool that something like that is there for that. So that's a really cool thing. So we have anything else? Or are we running at the end of our?
Oh, yes, I've got 2 more things.
Awesome. That's great.
I've got 3 more things.
3. Hey, we'll roll with it. Sounds like you're a busy lady.
Yes, we try. So we are ongoing with our senior nutrition group. Right now we run Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Tuesdays and Fridays we are in-house, and you can register at Colvin Community Center for that. And Tuesdays and Fridays you can come in if you're 60 and over, play games. We play bingo, cards, other various board games, just socialize. You can also get a free meal at lunch. It's just a good program to join as well too.
Awesome.
And Mondays is a drive-through meal.
Okay, cool. I'm not too far from that. All right, so 60 and over. So,
yes.
Awesome. Okay, that's a great thing. And we'll, and of course, like I said, we'll have all this information on the Facebook pages, and then also I know they'll post it after, as part of the show as well. So we've got we've got some more Christmas stuff, it looks like.
Yes. This one is another Saunders Springs program. So this one is Christmas at the Cabins. This is another really fun little event. So Santa, the big guy himself again, he'll be at Saunders Springs. He makes an annual visit to Saunders Springs right after he gets done with Colvin Community Center. So he likes to make 2 appearances with Radcliff for that special on December 12th. So he comes, he'll sit in one of the cabins up top, and we do pictures with the kids, and once again another opportunity for s'mores, hot chocolate, just good old time with the Christmas lights up at Saunders, and just fun time.
That's awesome. I really like a lot of these events because there's food involved in many of them. So
yes. I'm a very food motivated person myself as well too.
So okay, so we've got that one, and I see one more here.
Yes. So this one is another. So I've got a 2-part flyer here.
Okay.
So this is another annual running event too. Our full moon hikes.
I've heard about those.
Yes, they are a lot of fun. Those are at Saunders Springs. Also weather dependent as well too. So next month will be on November 5th. And due to the time change and how dark, when it gets dark and everything, this one will start at 5 p.m., which that's usually about the time I start going to them because I like to go to bed a little bit early. So this one will be at 5 p.m. And then the next one will be on December 4th. And that one will start at 5 p.m. as well too. Okay. And we haven't came out with next year's yet.
Gotcha. So what is and I've read about them and stuff and thought they were really cool. So just kind of real quick, we've got a couple coming up. What are some things? What does this entail?
So the full moon hikes, they're usually about a mile-long walk. Our naturalist, Barbara Baker, and the Forestry Board, they usually design them so that way they're a little bit easier for people to walk. Very informative full moon facts, as well as other facts about Saunders Springs and the critters that reside there. And then you usually get like a little snack or a little treat that to go along with the full moon. We usually get about 20 to 15 people.
Oh, wow,
sometimes
really
a little bit more. And then you do have to bring a light with you, and then we usually give a little glow stick out as well too.
Okay, cool. And like you said, weather dependent. Obviously, if it's super cloudy or it's raining, it's going to be hard to.
Yeah,
hard to see
they'll still do the hikes even if it's cloudy.
Okay,
and it's still a good time too.
Right. Okay, so got lots of good events, and I think was that the last. I want to make sure we get everything.
One.
Awesome. So that's a very full calendar just for the next 2.5 months.
Yes.
That's quite a bit, and a lot of good information there, and you said we can access it. You know, we can look for it on the Facebook. You said Saunders Springs has a Facebook. Do you have a Facebook for Colvin Parks and Rec?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't do Facebook. So I mean, so just for if we don't do Facebook, I know the city does have a website. Is some of that stuff available on the website as well, or they can still call Colvin?
Yes,
so,
yes.
okay.
Still call Colvin.
Okay.
You can call Colvin Community Center Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m.
Okay. So, and it is a lot easier to update Facebook versus trying to update a website all the time. So that does make sense. But like I said, I know some people are like me; they don't. But we all have phones, and then of course all this stuff will be on as we're going through the program. They will post it on the show as well.
And then especially at Saunders Springs too. Barbara does keep a really good job. The naturalist over at Saunders Springs, she does a really good job of keeping the information boards updated over at Saunders Springs as well too.
Awesome. Okay. So a lot of activities and opportunities for you to get out and enjoy the weather, enjoy time with family and friends. Once again, thank you for watching another episode of Issues and Insights. My name is Tommy Crane with the Radcliff Fire Department, and this is Rebecca Kmeyer with the Radcliff Parks and Rec. And we just hope that you all have a safe and happy holiday season and enjoy your time with everyone that you love.